Hey everyone, welcome Paint Partiers. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Looking forward to getting this paint party started with you all. All right, so I have everything ready to go. I think I have a setup which you guys will enjoy. I do have our image set up in a way that I think I can keep it on while we are painting today, so I'm pretty excited about that. As you guys jump on, please say hi. Let me know that you can see me and everything's good to go. And we will get started in about 5 minutes or so, just to make sure everyone who wants to join in has time to do so. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm gonna see what's going on here. All right. So just as a reminder, if you can see me right now, this is where we're going to be doing our paint party. So if there's any random links that have come on, do not click them. I'm just going to make a change for that too. Hi Tara! I'm so glad you guys are joining today. All right. Let's do that. Okay, perfect. Hi Marcia, hi Martha. Thanks for joining. Hi Swarn. All right, so before we get started, so let's just go through some of the supplies that we have. So I have canvas board. I'm using an 11 by 14 canvas board. I just prefer to use the canvas board for my own uses. It's easier for me to store my paintings. If you have an actual like full-on canvas, that's good too. If you're using anything else like a rock or a plant pot or whatever you want, you could totally use that. Anything can be a canvas, so you're not limited by any of the supplies you might have. I also have our paints. So this particular painting, there's a lot of gray, there's a lot of nice autumn colors to it, so some oranges and yellows. So predominantly, like I always say, if you have like the basic colors, you're good to go. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit that way. So if you have your red, yellow, blue, white, and black, you can make anything you want. You just have to mix a little bit more. If you do have a pre-mixed orange or a brown, that always will come in handy too. If you have other colors that are pre-mixed, I usually keep them back here. I'll dip into them if necessary. We'll see how that goes. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Margaret. Fantastic. So I hope you guys are good. I have my water. If you have another drink, please drink up, enjoy. What else do I have going on? I have my water containers, 2 of them. I have some paper towel, so you want to like clean off your brushes and whatnot. And I have a few paintbrushes, but if you have 3, I would say you're kind of good to go. So I have like a nice bigger thick one. I have a fine point and I have a medium. And that's really just in relation to whatever size canvas you have. So if you have a ginormous canvas, you're going to need huge paintbrushes. And if you have a smaller one, vice versa. But that's what I'm using. I have a few other ones that I kind of dip into as well that might be a bit softer or whatnot. But really, as long as you're comfortable with the paintbrush you're using, that's all that you need to worry about. Awesome. Virginia's asking, yeah, you can. She's asking if we can come back to watch this. You absolutely can. So once this is done, it will go under the videos tab on my paint party page. You can also watch it on my Facebook channel as well. That will be out probably in like a few hours, probably by like 10 or so tonight or so. It takes a little while to upload it to that page, but then yeah, then it's free. It's available. You can watch whenever you so desire, for sure. And if you guys, again, if you see any comments come up from like scammers asking you to click links, I'm going to keep an eye and try to remind everyone like not to click them. But if you can do that as well, if you notice while I'm painting, sometimes I might miss that. I'll keep an eye on the comments if you have any questions as we go. But I will make sure that we go at a good pace so we are comfortable with the process. Hi, Terry. I'm glad you're joining again. Hi, Yvonne. Awesome. All right. So we're going to get started momentarily. So you just get your supplies ready to go. And then I have my my iPad set up aside, so I'll have the picture available. So this is the picture we're going to be doing today, called an Autumn Stroll. So all the pictures that I put up as the choices for our paint parties, they're all different images that I really like from online. Like I'd look on even a Google search or whatever else. Sometimes people send them to me as well. So yeah, so if you have any ideas or if you have any images that you really like, feel free to like send them to my the messages, and I might use them for one of our paint parties. But this one is from an online search. So we're going to do our version of it, and I'll walk you through step by step how to recreate this. I am going to make a few changes. I'm a little bit biased in wanting my female to have brunette hair, you know, so I'm going to change her up a little bit. I'm actually going to make her jacket red, and I'm going to put her with like brunette, like brown hair, and I might change the color of her umbrella as well. So if you want to stick with black, you're more than welcome to. It's going to be the same concept regardless which color you want to go with. If you want to make it purple or blue or green or whatever you want, you can do that as well. And I'll kind of walk you through it. It's really just a matter of making it darker in some areas or lighter in some areas. But regardless, what we're going to start with, if you want to get some paint going on your palette, is you want to get the background, right? So we have a nice gray, kind of rainy day in the background. So I want you to get a lot of white on your palette and some black. And we're going to start that out right there, okay? So I'm going to put that beside here, and I'm going to move my camera so you guys can see my setup a little bit better. Hi, everyone. Hi, Helene. Hi, Linda. Oh, you have your arm in a cast. Oh, after cast put on my broken arm. No way. I hope you're okay, Linda. Oh, shoot. Hi, Jade. We're doing the autumn stroll picture. So I'll have it available as we go. If you want, you can do a screenshot of that. We put a post up yesterday, so you can take a screenshot, have it available just for your own reference, or you can, I'll have it available. It'll be, you can see it while we're painting as well. Yeah, me too, Swan. I love this painting. I think it's really nice. All right, cool. So let me see. Bear with me while I change this up a little bit. Ooh. All right. Nope. Yes. There we go. It's a little better. I'm going to move it a little bit so it's more head on. Hopefully without. Let's do it like that. No, I just did it again. There we go. All right. Sorry, I'm a one-person crew here. So it has to be done this way. Awesome. All right. So you can see the picture. You got my canvas going on. Oh, there you are, you sketchy, sketchy people. Sorry, let me just get rid of these sketchiness. Do not click on those links. And then we'll get started in a moment. I'm literally starting to paint right on this page. You'd think they would try not to get people to go somewhere else. It's weird. Okay, I'm going to just ban this dude, and I'm going to hide all of those. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. We're getting nice comments going, and someone has to go in and ruin it all. All right. Let's start off. So, white paint. I use paint from the dollar store. I'm fancy like that. So I'm going to get a big glob of white paint, and I'm going to get some black paint. I need more white, actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So on my, so I have quite a bit of white, a little bit of black. But the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to wet down my canvas. So you want to basically get your big brush, and we're going to get water. And you're basically going to wet your brush, and we're just going to apply water onto the canvas, okay? That's what we're going to do first. It doesn't really matter how you apply it. It can be vertical strokes. It can be sideways strokes. It doesn't really matter. Just get it covered with a nice thin coat of water, okay? This will help when we're doing the background. It'll help the coverage, and it'll give us a really nice effect, especially since we want it to have like a rainy day vibe. Okay. But you don't want to soak it. Like, you don't want it to be like dripping wet. You want it just to be like a nice thin coat. Okay. And I'm going to go almost to the bottom. I think we're just going to stick more up here. Yeah, for now. Okay. Okay. So let's that going first. Thanks, Martha. Yeah, if you guys see them come up again, they usually do it like right at the beginning, but once we start painting, I guess they realize that people aren't going to click because clearly you can watch it. But you know, scammers be scamming. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get this nice gray kind of background. And the way we're going to do this is by getting a big glob of white paint on your thick brush. Okay, and where we just wet it, we're going to start applying the white paint to the white canvas. And you're going to just go in like a downward flow, which is going to be weird because it's not going to look like you're doing anything. It's just white paint right now. So we're just going to apply it, and we're going to apply it, and let's start getting into this kind of like rain, downpour kind of streak vibe. Okay. And we're just going to get white paint on here first. So now that I have about like almost half of that section with white, I'm going to dip a little bit of black, and I'm just going to put a little bit of weird lines like that in. Okay? Now I'm going to go back to my white, and I'm going to go over those and start streaking it over. So we have first white paint, you put weird streaks of black, and now we're going to continue to get more white paint to make it gray and streaky. Okay. If you're liking some of the dark strokes, try not to go over it and over again because you're just going to keep diminishing it. But the great thing about acrylic paint is that you can easily just paint right over it. So if it's turning out the way you love it, cool. If you are doing it and it's like, ugh, this is not working, you can wait till it dries and you can literally just redo exactly what we did. It's very forgiving that way. Okay. And again, this is the background. We're still going to have trees on top of this. We're going to have some other things going on, so it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Just have fun with it. Just get some nice streakiness going. So let me get some. I didn't put white paint on this side yet, which I guess you don't really need to, I suppose. It's better if you do. If you have a nice coating of white paint first, it'll make it easier to blend. We're going to do the same thing. Oh, another one. Sketchy McSketchersons. It's okay. It'll give you guys a second to catch up as well while I ban these people. Okay, it's just the Saddam guy. Saddam Hussein. Interesting. Yeah, I agree, Swarren. Swarren says dollar stores have fabulous material for painting. I absolutely agree. I'm a big proponent of use what you have. Like, you don't need to get the fanciest things. You don't need to go to Michael's and spend like $30 on a bunch of paint. Like, you can just get basic supplies and have fun with it. Sometimes the supplies are really great, and sometimes they're kind of funky. There's a weird like line happening here, just so you know. That's actually like a reflection from my light. So if you notice like there's a weird shadow, it's from the light here. It's not, I didn't paint that. It's just, I'm sure you guys are like, what is that line there? But yeah, sometimes the supplies can be kind of funky though too, obviously. At the same time, I don't know, I kind of like it in a way. Adds an element of surprise. Is the red actually going to be red? Let's see. So you can just add, like I just added a little bit more black on the tip of my brush, and then I just like stroked it in, and then I just blended it with the rest of my paintbrush because it still has lots of white paint on it. Okay, and just by doing this up and down motion, you're just going to create that already kind of looks like a nice downpour, or even like a lot of trees in the background realistically. Like it has a nice effect already to it. Hey, Bonnie! Oh, I'm so glad you came on. Oh, good. I'm glad you reported them. Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Hey Jade, yeah, those pop-ups are just like scammer people. It happens a lot. It's been happening for the last like 6 paint parties I've had so far, and they usually start just like this, like it's usually at the beginning, and then they kind of stop. But we'll see. Sharon says she want. Oh, this is actually acrylic paint, so this isn't actually watercolor, Sharon. But acrylic is a water-based paint. So it actually, you can do a lot with water with it. And it does kind of have, in some ways, I guess, similar kind of vibe to it, but you can kind of play with it like watercolors a little bit. But it is a beast of its own. And watercolors have its own approach. Actually, Bonnie's been doing some of our paintings, the ones we've been doing in watercolors, and they turn out really cool. She has her own spin on it. You should definitely take a look at some of the other ones that she's done in the past. It's pretty cool. Okay, cool. So I'm pretty happy with it. So kind of just keep going with it. If you want to go lighter, if you want to go darker, you can add more white to it if you need it to be a little bit lighter. So I might want to have that a little bit lighter. But I'm still constantly going, like pulling it down. I'm really not digging these weird shadows I'm getting. Well, they're still there, but it doesn't seem as bad right now. Okay. Okay, cool. So we'll continue with that. And then the next part that's very gray is obviously the bottom. Now, I obviously brought my sky down like way more than it should be. The sky only goes about like halfway down, and then you have like the walkway, right? So, which is okay because the back, this is going to be all gray anyways. So essentially, we're going to keep the same gray happening at the bottom, but the difference is that we're going to basically pull it. So the center point's going to be in the middle, right? And then we're going to be kind of pulling and dragging the paint strokes outwards, okay? So let's play with that a bit. So I'm going to get my white paint just to mark up kind of where my horizon line is going to be, which is going to be more almost halfway. And I'm doing it, it's still on wet paint, and that's totally fine. So that's kind of where my horizon line, oh yeah, let's paint my iPad. That's not going to make me freak out. Maybe that's not a good idea to have the iPad there. Okay, so that's where my horizon's going to be more or less. Okay. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to be pulling it out like in like a V shape, right? So that's like the walkway right there. So you can feel free to do that as well. So make like a V with the existing paint that's on your brush and just pull it out just so you get a good visual as to how it's going to be. So that's the walkway here. You might want to actually make it a bit bigger. So I'm just doing this so I can visualize where I want that walkway to be. It's going to come pretty wide actually. So it's going to come all the way out. And I'm just doing it with white paint. And it's turning a bit gray because I still have some black that's remaining on this big old fat brush of mine. Okay. Oh, no problem, Sharon. Yeah, that makes sense. And, oh, that's awesome. So Bonnie's saying that she's teaching the cat that she did with me after this event tonight. That's fantastic. But she's painting in acrylic today. Oh, that's awesome. That's good. So yeah, so she has an event. So Bonnie also does live free Facebook events and some that are paid as well. So you should definitely check her out. She's in San Francisco. And we realized we're like soul sisters over here. Same age. Love painting. Cool. So with the white paint, I'm going to start kind of doing what I did up there. So let's create like let's get some paint on the canvas. Let's get some white paint. And then we're going to get a dabo of black. That's actually kind of maybe almost a little bit too much. But that's okay because it will blend out. And let's block in where we want this walkway to be. So we're going to just basically bring it down. And you'll notice, so I didn't put water on this to start. You could do that first. That's totally fine. I actually didn't because I kind of forgot as I was going through it, to be honest. I usually like to, just because it's easier to spread. Let's create a nice walkway with that way, but it still works. Otherwise, you just need to put a bit more like of paint on to get that same effect going. Okay. So I put some black, and then I just use my brush to continue blending it, and then I just keep getting white paint to continue to pull it out. And we're going to do the same thing here. And we just want this in the background because we're going to have tons of leaves and trees and everything right in front of it. Yeah, we do have the same cheesy jokes, Bonnie says. Yep. That's what happens when you grow up, you know, in the like late 80s and the 90s, you know, that's inevitable. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to get some white paint and just pull it out on an angle. Pull it out on an angle. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of black. I'm just going to throw in a little bit of black on both sides. And then I'm just going to go over it with my brush and just bring it on this angle here. I'm a little bit concerned about the iPad getting paint on it. So I'm not being as like free with my brush as I normally am. But I think having this here helps you guys a lot. So I think I'm gonna continue having that available for you when we paint together. Okay, so just to get this kind of vibe going, we're going to add more to this once we have our trees in, but just to get that feeling of like there's a walkway, there's a center point, you have all the rest of the background kind of coming straight down. It's good. Oh, Tara says hers looks like poop. No, don't worry. Mine looks like poop right now too. Like this is literally the base. Once we start putting more stuff on, so Swarren says she wants to start filling colors, please, she can't wait. Totally agree. This is just the background. Once we start putting more elements in, it's just going to make everything pop and it's going to look really nice. So don't stress out about it. And Shallon's asking, will this be available there? Yes. So all of my paint parties are available on the Liza's Painting Party page under the videos tab. So once this is done, it will go automatically there. Or alternately, you can watch it on my YouTube channel. Once I load that, it'll be up later tonight, and all my videos are on my YouTube channel as well, and it's all free. So don't click any of the random scammy links. Just watch it. Just watch. You're in the right place. And if you can't see it right now, you can watch it a little bit later. And I think I saw Marion also saying that she's going to do it a little bit later too. That's awesome. Can't wait to see yours, Marion. Okay. So again, there's going to be things on top of this, right? So by doing this, it allowed this part a bit more time to dry. Acrylic dries pretty quickly as well, as long as you're doing like thin coats. If you're doing really, really thick coats of paint, you're going to be there for quite a while because it's not going to work as well. So try to do like thinner coats. It'll help the process quite a bit. Okay, so right now I'm going to move from my big old brush to a medium brush so we can start placing in where we want the trees to be. Oh, Shaylin's saying her internet's cutting out bad. Yeah, I've been having, actually today all my connections seemed really strong today, which I was really happy about. I have like a booster thing that just helps my signal, because my internet's like downstairs, but then we have like this booster because upstairs was like really crappy internet. And today it was like full bars. It was like showing really good connection, so I was really excited. So I'm on my Wi-Fi. It's also a warning just in case it cuts out and there's like we have to like jump on again. It might happen. I don't have a link right here, but if you look up Liza's painting parties, if you just search that on YouTube, it comes up. Or if you just click through here, like there's like my Liza's painting party site from there too. You can do it that way. All right, so let's start thinking about where we want these trees to go. Okay, so in this painting we have 3 on this side and 2 on this side. You can follow that same pattern as well if you like, or you can change it up. You can put way more or way less, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. A couple of things to note is that a few of these trees are kind of on the background here, and there's a few that come a little bit closer on the path, right? So we're going to do a few at this like horizon line, and we're going to bring a few of them a little bit lower, closer, because like it looks like the path is like tree lined essentially, right? So just wanted to draw your attention to that before we start to place those in. I'm like playing with this brush and I don't know if this is the one I want to use. Sometimes I get vibes. Which brush gives me the best vibes today? Okay, let's see. I think maybe, yeah, I am going to use this thick one. Yeah, we're going to go with that. This one's just a little bit harder, so I feel like I'm going to have more control over it, which is usually not true anyways. Kind of does what it wants to do sometimes. All right, so you're going to get some black paint on your brush. And right now, you always want to start thinner than thicker. You can always make it thicker. If you go thicker right off the hop, it might end up being a little bit funky, right? So we don't like that too much. Me being a control freak, that doesn't work for me. So I'm going to start a bit thinner, and we're going to, which one do we want to do first? Let's put in this one that's kind of more, not at the horizon line, that's a little bit closer to where she's walking. Okay, so let's just say it lives here. Okay. Oh, that link you can click, the one that Bonnie just put up. Thanks, Bonnie. Very helpful. She found my link on YouTube. That's so sweet. Thanks. That link you're totally welcome to click if you guys want to, but it will take you away from here. So don't do it right yet, but yeah. Thanks. That's very sweet. Really appreciate that. All right. And then we're going to put another one here. And I see that one's going to come further down as well. Okay. So we're just going to place them so we kind of have an idea of where they're living. And you'll see, like, hey, Nicole, yeah, it's so true, right? Like, it's depending how the brush feels, like, you get a good vibe from it or not. And it sounds kind of like hippy-dippy, but I'm all for that. And then let's put another tree, like, here. And that's going to end on my horizon line there-ish. I mean, we're going to fill it out anyways, right? And we're going to have another tree, like, here. It's going to be a bit more, like, crooked. Maybe a little more wavier. Another one, like, here. All right. So that's kind of, like, where they're living. Yeah? So do the same thing on yours. Get a vibe of where these trees are going to live. They look, like, super creepy. I looked over at the screen. I'm like, whoa, it looks like a ghost painting. It's kind of terrifying. All right, cool. And I might actually, you know what? On the brush vibe note, I'm switching up my brush because I want to be a little bit more controlled. Actually, Nicole, who's up here, she's a friend of mine, and she has her own art. I don't know if it's a channel yet. I don't know if you have it on YouTube. I'm not sure, Nicole. But she's doing a lot of acrylic pouring, which is so cool. Definitely check it out. Really, really cool vibes on that too. It's all about the vibes tonight, guys. I think it's like, what is it? UC Art? Is that right, Nicole? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Like the letter U and then C and then Art. And you can find her on Facebook, I'm pretty sure. She has some really, really cool videos and really cool pieces that she's selling. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to start to fill out my trees. I want them to be black first, and then we're going to put in those white lines to give that, you know, highlight. So let's fill them out a little bit. let's give them some substance, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to make the base of my tree thicker, as it should be, right? It needs to hold up. And I'm just going to fill it in. This one's a bit, comes further down the path, right? And remember, at this point, we still have a lot more detail work to do, right? So we're still going to put in a bunch of leaves and stuff. So if it looks kind of funky and you're like, what is going on? Don't worry. Or if you somehow randomly like touch your canvas in a weird spot, don't stress, because we're going to have a lot more elements that you can put in that you can cover up those little mistakes, no problem. Okay. So let's get this tree nice and going. I don't know if I want him to be like super straight. I kind of do want a little bit of unevenness in the bark. So I don't, you can make it like a super straight tree, but I'm gonna kind of go with my paint brush, and if it kind of goes out, I'm gonna go with it and just fill in the lines a bit as I thicken it up. So this might end up being a bit creepier than the original, realistically. A lot of my original paintings that I've done all have a bit of a creepy vibe to them, so which is why I tend to do images I found online. Let's just stick with happier vibes. All right, so we're gonna have a branch that's gonna come out this way. I might have to go a bit thinner with some of these. We're gonna have another branch that's gonna come here. It's gonna kind of twist a little bit. Cool. So cool. Nick put the her art right there. Perfect. Yeah, she's only on Facebook right now. She's not on YouTube yet. Awesome. All right, let's thicken this guy up too. Oh, this brush is not giving me good vibes right now. I need to change brushes. How are your brushes treating you guys? Are they listening to you or no? I don't know. I think, yeah, I'm gonna still try and thicken this one up a little bit, and then no, I can't. I need to change my brush. I find like this brush, it's like it's very long, and I feel like because it's so far from here, I have less control over it, and that's what I don't like about it at the moment. Sometimes that works well for other aspects, but right now I'm like not digging it. So I need to get something that is either a bit thinner, but isn't as long. Yeah, so like this one I think I'm going to use, it's like thinner, smaller, but it's also shorter. So I'm going to have more control when I am trying to be more precise. Yeah, I have a thing about like I like to have like really like straight lines. I don't like to see the texture of the canvas come through. All right. So basically what I'm doing now, I'm just thickening up my tree trunks. They're going to be a little bit bigger at the bottom. Okay, and then I want a little branch. Yeah, see how much nicer when the brush is cooperating? So nice. Okay, I'm gonna have it here. Something from this one here. That's nicer. I want this to be a bit thicker. So just keep going with your branches. You can put as many or as few as you desire. I'm all for like the squiggly branches, so definitely have some like ones that creep out. And again, if you do some and you don't like the way it looks, we're gonna still put leaves all over these trees, so you're not stuck with the way it is either. Okay. That's a little too uniform. That's fine. Let's go with it. Okay. Hey, Lori. Oh, awesome. I can't wait to see yours. Definitely share. I love seeing your finished pictures when you guys join in with me. Even if you do them at a future date, please share them. I just downloaded like this like Facebook business app or something, so I can hopefully manage and get your messages sooner than I have been. So sometimes some of you guys have like done my videos, ones that I've done a long time ago, and you'll post them. But I just replied to a few messages of some people had done them like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was like, oh no, how did I miss this? So hopefully this app will help me be a little bit more timely to that. Because granted, as you guys all know, or most of you guys who have painted with me before know, like this isn't like I have a full-time job that does require my attention on a regular, so I can't always be the most quick on my responses, or I'm not always on Facebook, or the art isn't my like number one thing, unfortunately. So I try to be on top of it. But yeah, if any of you guys know any sponsors who want to pay me full time, that'd be fantastic. But that is also why all my paint's from the dollar store currently. So this tree's a little further away, so that's why he's a little shorter than the other ones. Okay, I need more black paint on there for sure. Hey, Jeanette. Oh, nice. So Jeanette says she's watching this now, but she's going to do it tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's been a few people, actually. I didn't realize how many people like just to watch it and then just join in another time. But there's people who really enjoy that process more. Like, I think it, like, prepares them more. And some just obviously, like, can't join, and so they just do it that way. But I know someone had said that they like to watch it, and then that kind of, like, prepares them, and then they end up, like, painting the next day. So I'm just going to thicken this tree up. I really wish I could like play music in the background. I did that before, and because of all the copyright stuff that we have, like it ended up like muting like part of my video, so I wasn't able to post it. I guess if it's just like a live like in the moment, then I guess I could if I wasn't going to keep it up in the future, but because I want to keep them up in the future, yeah, we have to, you guys can just like hum your own stuff or have your own stuff in the background. I even tried to find like there was like a Spotify station I'd found that had like popular songs, but it was all done like an instrumental, and I was like, oh, that should be okay. Yeah, it wasn't okay. So if you watch any of my previous videos, there might be some that just like automatically the sound just like kind of cuts off randomly, and that is why. Just keep adding some branches until you feel like you're either done with it or whatever you like. Or just keep going. You don't have to put like a heck of a, like I would say at this point I could probably stop at this point. But I'm actually kind of digging it, so I'm going to keep putting a few more, I think. It's gonna be funny because once we put in all the other colors, like it's gonna end up, you're gonna paint right over it anyways, but yeah, whatever. Lori, yeah. Lori said she can't wait to do this or try to do this. LOL, that's funny. Yeah, no, I honestly just have fun with it. It's nothing's like, it's none of this is difficult, and just because like I've been doing it for a while, so it's like easier for me to construct it, you know what I mean? And like to be comfortable with the materials, but honestly, like anyone can do this. It's not difficult. It's fun. Again, you have to kind of get used to things. You want things to be fully dry before you paint on a top fit. It takes a little bit of practice, but like anyone can learn to do this. Anyone can have fun with it. And there's so many styles of painting. Like there's like if you go to like an art gallery or just look online, you'll see so many different styles. So really, you could paint however you want, and you could just say you're like adopting an eclectic style, or it's like, oh no, I wanted it to look like a 4-year-old's drawing. It's fine. That was what I was going for. So yeah, so don't worry. I'm just going to touch up some of these lines because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and again, it shouldn't matter because everything's going to be covered up. Another practice you should do too is when you think you're kind of done with it, just like look at it from, like, hold your painting at a bit of a distance and just look at it afar, just to make sure it's looking the way you want it. By looking at it from a distance, when you're too close to it, you kind of can miss things. So you just want to like pull your gaze away and see if there's any other spots that you would still want to put some of these branches. Like I think I'm going to just bring these all the way up. Maybe that made it look kind of weird. Let's thicken that guy up. cool. Yeah, Nicole's asking how about classical music. Yeah, I did actually have a few where I put some classical music in the background, but surprisingly, there's even some of that is that you can't play. So I guess maybe I'd have to like realistically I'd have to like construct like a playlist of things that I know are like okay, I'm good to go. I think on the editor and stuff you can add music that's acceptable, but I haven't found anything where I can actually just play it when I'm doing a live, which I would kind of prefer. I know there's been some videos, which has been kind of nice, where like there's some birds chirping outside or whatever, and that's really cool. But maybe that would work. Maybe it should be just like some kind of like nature sounds. Although no, I think that was kind of weird. I don't know if I really would do that. I'd rather just have like some pop music playing. But then you guys would end up hearing me like sing Backstreet Boys, and so I don't know. Maybe it's better if we don't have that going on. What I'm doing, because I'm a bit crazy as well, is I'm just continuing some of the branches off the canvas. Because I'm crazy, like I said. Also, I want it to dry a little bit first. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right. I like it. Looks good. Ah, yeah. So Bonnie's saying that Facebook blocks all her music too. But you can't paint in silence. Yeah, I know. It's definitely tricky. I think it's with me being an only child and I'm like used to like talking to myself. So I think like I'm okay with that. There's a lot of voices in my head, I guess. No. But no, I would rather have some music too. But she does it on Zoom, and then yeah, that would make sense. You have to record through there. Yeah. I had some like technical issues at first, so I was trying to streamline how I was doing these. I did have it on a few of my first ones were through Zoom as well. Ooh. Lori says, have you ever tried saying on your post, I don't own the rights to this music? Someone told me that works. Ooh. You know what? I might try that. Maybe you guys will see like a random video that I'll post with a bunch of music. We'll see if it works. That could work. I like it. Tara's saying that I should put my hubby's music. So my husband's a musician, and I have asked him to just record some like random like strumming on his guitar, so I could just potentially put it on, or for him to give me some of his music. Granted, his music is like a little heavier than I like for like painting purposes, but there's some that isn't, but he hasn't yet, and I don't think that will happen, knowing it. I will bug him again though. But anyone of you guys who know him, you guys could also bug him. And Jessica's asking how long will the video be posted. So yeah, so the video will be posted indefinitely. So all my lives stay up. So you can find it on my Facebook page under videos, or you can go on my YouTube channel. If you search Liza's Painting Parties, you will find it there. Not yet, obviously, but by tomorrow it will be up. Okay. So what I'm going to do, if you notice here, again, there's some darker lines, and that's a bit of like the shadow, I would think, of like some of the trees that are still there, which is kind of cool. We're still going to have a lot of leaves and whatnot, but before I get into the leaves, I do want to add a little bit of darker ones to kind of show almost like a shadow of the trees. So it's going to be a little bit different than what we have. So I'm going to get a little bit of gray. So I'm mixing black into my white and just getting like a darker gray color happening. So it's a darker gray. And I'm just going to basically pull, well, it's very dry, so it's not being cooperative. And I'm just going to pull like a shadow here happening. So it's just basically going to start where the base of the tree is. And we're going to put leaves anyways to cover some of the lines happening. And then I'm just going to pull in a nice, kind of like following where that path is. Like that. Cool shadow. Easy peasy. And again, we're going to put this here too, so I'm going to do the same thing here too. And I'm gonna put, again, like we're putting a bunch of leaves on here as well. So this isn't necessary. You don't have to do this. I want to. It reminds me of like a painting we did in the summer. There's like one of like a deer that was like in the snow and the like kind of, I think it was called Deer Spotted. And I really liked pulling the shadow from the trees. I thought it added like a really cool element, so I'm just adding it to this one. And again, we're just going to bring it diagonally, kind of following our path, but it goes right off the page. Haha, that's gonna be interesting. Okay. I'm gonna like cut into that one. Didn't plan that out too well, did I? That's fine. Okay, so it's gonna stop behind that tree. That's fine. It blows into each other. That works. My trees do look so spooky, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. I kind of like, I'm really digging the spooky vibe. But it will look happier. Do not fret for anyone who's like, I don't like the spookiness. It will look happier once we get all the leaves going. But we're not doing the leaves yet because we still, how are we going to do this? Are we going to put this chicken? Let me think. No, I think we're going to put the chicken at the end. Yeah, we are going to put her at the end. Yeah, we're going to do the leaves. Actually, you know what? We're doing the leaves now. That's what we're going to do. And Bonnie says that she should ask her boyfriend to do something. Oh, you also have a musician boyfriend. Of course. Of course you do, Bonnie. Because we're like the same person, only in different parts of the world. I love it. But I hope you know that what that means, though. Like, if you ever come to Toronto, like, you need to, like, find me. And hopefully if this coronavirus isn't happening and all this stuff, like, we then need to meet up. Like, I hope you realize that. Same if I go out your way, like we need to, like, meet up for, like, a coffee or something. Like, legit. Or do, like, an in-person paint party. That'd be so cool. You guys haven't realized yet? Like, I love people so much. Like, at some point, if I can do an in-person paint party, I will let you guys know, and hopefully we can actually meet you guys in person. All the ones that are in Toronto and Durham area. That'd be super cool. I'm just blending a bit with my paint, my white paint, just to make it look a little bit lighter. Okay, now I'm actually going to go in to do the leaves. I know I said that initially, but again, anyone who's joined me before knows that I like to say I'm going to start something, and then I go back and do more strokes on the same thing I just did, because I just can't let go. So when did I say chicken? That's so funny. Did I sound like I said chicken? I don't even know. But like when we meet up, we should have chicken? Is that what we thought I said? Because that's hilarious. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think we should do totally a collab. I think we should, Bonnie. I think this is a good idea. That's hilarious. That's so funny. I wonder, I have to like watch it later and see when I said chicken. Now I'm very curious, guys. All right. Now let's do some leaves. All right. Okay, cool. So let's get some yellow on your palette. And let's get some red as well. The leaves are very orangey. But you know what? I'm going to get some orange. I have pre-mixed orange, but you can also mix red and yellow together. If you don't have a pre-mixed orange, that's totally cool. And I'm also going to put some brown, because, you know, why not? I didn't put the highlights on my tree yet. Should I do that first? Yeah, you know what? We should do that first. They're not going to look as spooky. Sorry. We're going to take one step back, because, again, that's also what happens. All right. Oh, I said chicken. Oh, that's when I said it. That's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. I meant chick isn't the girl. That's so funny. Wouldn't it be great, though, if I just all of a sudden started, like, painting a chicken in the middle of the painting? That would be hilarious. That's actually really funny. Maybe like we should do that in the future. I'll like say we're doing a certain painting and like we'll like totally change, put like a random element in it. All right. So I'm gonna put in a bit of the highlights. So my light source is coming from like the middle here. So that means the light, it's gonna be a little bit different from this painting a bit because there's light coming on that side. So I changed that up a little bit. So my light source is coming right from the middle. So I'm gonna put a bit like a white line, basically, just down. And in this regard, I don't mind so much that I can see the texture of my canvas behind it because that will kind of give that kind of bark feel to it. And I'm going to do the same thing on this guy. And a little bit on the branch. Here. Okay. And we're going to do the same on this one here. Put the chicken, that's so funny. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side here too. So I'm just going to bring this down. Oh, my hand is going to wet paint. Okay, that's good. Didn't smear. Good job. Cool. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if I want to do more than that. I want to put a few more lines here though. Yeah. Yeah, cool. That's a good idea. And add your own random animal event. That's fantastic. I like that idea a lot. So I was asking how long is the video. Realistically, so my paint parties have taken about 2 hours or so. I am chatting a little bit more than usual, so we'll see. I think it should still be about 2 hours. We'll see. If it's a bit too long, though, again, the video will be up. So you can always like stop for a bit and you can always watch it later too. So don't feel like you have to stick around if you're kind of done, you know? No stress. Like, where's Waldo? Find the hidden chicken. That's funny. Okay, so let's start putting in some of the colors. Okay, so I put in some highlight, and now let's get some of the colors going on. So I think I'm going to start with, do I want to do yellow first? It doesn't really matter. You can start with whatever color you want. I'm going to start with yellow. And I'm going to pick, which one do I want to go with? Again, get your vibe of your brush. Which brush has a good vibe? I'm going to go with this one for now. We'll see how it goes. My medium kind of hard bristled brush. And I am going to get yellow. And I am going to just start doing that. Dab it all around. Sometimes there's leaves in the middle here. Okay, and you can just go anywhere you want. Just start putting some yellow. Kind of getting it anywhere you want. It should go on top of the branches, on some of the branches too. Okay, and the top has a lot of like leaves going on, so I'm just going to dab it out. So you can feel free to put quite a bit up there. Try not to be super uniform about it, so try to, if you have a brush that's kind of creating the same shape every time you dab it, like move it around, right? Oh, you have to cook dinner. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, definitely, Sworn. You can definitely watch it later. So the video will still be up. You can definitely follow it up later. No worries. You can check it out afterwards. And thank you. That's really sweet. Again, like I like really love people and I really enjoy painting. So this is like the most fun. Although, I mean, granted, it would be nice to actually like hear you guys talk. And and see you in person. That'd be really cool. That'd be way cooler. Maybe I'll host some Zoom ones in the future. We'll see. So at least there can be more interaction between us. Okay, so we got the yellow going on here. I'm going to stick with just doing the top right now, and then I'm going to do the bottom afterwards, I think. So you can go back and forth. Like if you want to start putting some yellow on the ground too, go for it. But I'm going to now move to my orange and start doing the same thing, only with orange. Some of them are going to go on top of the yellow. Honestly, I'm not really like following any particular pattern. I'm just kind of going where some of the yellows lived. So do the same thing. Like I said, just try to like move your brush a bit so that you're not getting like the same stamp effect, because you don't want it to look like super uniform, you know? And if you're not digging the way the brush is doing it, switch up your brush. So don't feel like, you know, you can't do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go to red and do the same thing. I'm not going to put as much red, I don't think, though. I'm going to put in just a little bit. But I do want a little bit of red. Because like I had mentioned to you guys at the beginning, anyone who was with me right at the start, I am going to change the color of my girl. So I'm going to put a red jacket on her, and I'm going to give her a brunette hair. So basically she's going to be me, because I too have a red jacket and brunette hair. The narcissist in me. Paint myself into the picture. But I strongly suggest you do the same. Put someone you love in it. Maybe have her with, like, if you have like a dog, add a dog to it, or we can do that, right? So again, make it your own. Like, this is just the option. Yeah, Andrew says I'm reaching more people from different areas. Yeah, no, I know, of course. This way is really nice because we can really connect, and it can be a lot of different people from a lot of different places, which is very cool. I was looking at some of the stats on Facebook, and it's pretty crazy, like the people who have joined in from all over the world. Like it blows my mind. So yeah, it would be cool to do like a session like that for sure, like a Zoom or something. I'm just going back with my white paint, and I'm just, not white, sorry, yellow, and then just like adding a bit more yellow on top. But it's very wet right now, so it's not really gonna. You may also want to do the sides of your canvas too. Touch it a little bit so it doesn't just look like weirdly like the leaves just stop. You know, that's kind of strange. All right, so there we go. Lots of fun leaves going on here. Okay. I didn't put any brown. I don't know if I'm going to actually. I'm going to try a little bit and see if I like it. I might not. Everything's very wet right now, so. I might add a little bit of brown just to like, almost to give it a little bit of shadow, I think. You know, I'm kind of digging it. And that's what I suggest you do, like play with it a bit. Like you can do what I'm doing. You can try something else. I'm just going to put a bit of brown and look back a bit. Yeah, I am digging that. It kind of seems a little, almost like there's like a shadow or something to it. Okay, cool. It's looking pretty good. All right, so let's add the leaves on the bottom as well. Okay, and if you're not there yet, that's okay, because this is the process. And like I said, like if I'm going too fast or I'm going too slow, you can move at your own pace of that, right? So don't feel like you have to rush to keep up. I don't think you can like rewind this when it's live. I don't think that works. So that's the only thing that kind of sucks about that. But it'll be available afterwards for you. So okay, so let's get some of these leaves going on. There's lots of leaves on the ground. So let's get in some yellow. I want some at the base of these trees. Again, I'm just like putting yellow, just dabbing it on. And I'm trying to do like some bigger globbies and some smaller globbies. And I'm trying to move my brush a bit so it's not just like a stamp pattern, because I don't want it to be all the same all over. Oh, shoot. I don't want it on the trunk. That doesn't make sense. It's in the background. Again, if you make that mistake, like if you end up getting it somewhere where it doesn't make sense, it's okay, because you can just get black paint and just paint it right over. So don't stress if that happens. Put the leaves wherever you want them. So just pop this yellow all over the place. And then I also want to have it down my path too. That's the sound you guys hear, just like dabbing. No music, just dabbing on the canvas, no big deal. Let's just have fun with it and get some yellow on the canvas and just dab, dab, dab. Putting some down here. Kind of like that. So it's kind of like fluttering all over the place. Okay, let's start with the orange and do the same process. Now, if you're still putting this, the orange on top of the yellow and the yellow's wet, as you keep going, oh well, I'll just accept that. You'll notice that you'll have to keep dipping your paintbrush back into the orange to get more orange on your brush, because as you paint with another color on top of a color that's already wet, it will pick up that wet color on your brush. And it will like dull it out, so it won't be as orange, which works kind of nicely because you'll get like some nice like color mixes. But if you're looking for more of like an individual like leaves, 'cause you don't want it just to be like a big blended mess, right? You want it to have like little like textures and kind of feel like a bunch of leaves that fell. You want to keep going back and picking up more of that color, whatever color you're using now, on your brush. trying to be cognizant and like move my brush in a couple of different ways so I'm not just getting like a stampy effect. But I fall into that pattern all the time. Put some orange in here too, not as many. How pretty. All right. See, it doesn't look so creepy anymore, right, guys? It's looking a little bit nicer. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the red. I'm not going to put as much red because I want the red on the jacket that I have her wear to really pop. I feel like it's not going to pop as well. Maybe I should get a jacket a different color. I really want it to be red. We'll see. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of, like, red in here. And again, as I'm doing it, and as you see, like, the red's really strong when I first do it, and then it, like, dissipates, right? So if you want it to be very red in a certain section, then you need to like redip it. And as you go, it kind of goes away. Okay, cool. And I'm going to do a little bit of brown too. And where do I want my brown? I want them, yeah, I think kind of all over. Just going to start here. I'm not going to do as many brown as my other colors because I don't want that to really can't come out. I think that works. That's cool. Okay. Just gonna clean off that brush. Put brown on it. And I think I'm gonna go back into my yellow and then just put in a little bit more yellow on top of some of the colors that I've just done. So it doesn't just look like yellow as my base. There might have been some that are yellow on top as well. And with this process, you can do this again, back and forth for as long as you want. You can go back and do some more yellow, you can go back and get some more orange, you can kind of go back and forth. You can change your brush around and get like a thinner brush if you want to be more detailed. If you want the leaves in the foreground to have more shape, you can always make those ones actually look like proper leaves if you want to get really, really, really detailed. I'm not going to do that for today, but you can feel free to make it, again, your own, right? So do it however, whatever your heart desires is how you should do this. Okay, so right now we're at 7:12, not too shabby, and we need to put in our lady walking, not a chicken, although you are welcome to draw a chicken if you so desire. I'm not going to put a chicken in here. I'm going to draw her, but I'm going to change the lady. So regardless, though, how you want to do it, when we're looking at positioning this person takes up quite a big section of our canvas, right? So if we look at our inspiration image here, like her feet are kind of right down here, right? So it's about like, I don't know, maybe like an inch or so from the bottom, right? Then you have her legs, they kind of come up about there. You have her skirt that still sits below the horizon line, her body, and her body, again, her waist is below the horizon line and it kind of goes up, and then her head, and then the umbrella, right? So it's important to kind of see like how big she's going to be, and to think about the parts and how it's going to work. Otherwise, it might look a little bit funky, which again is totally fine. You can make her look like a really slender, creepy woman and make it like a creep picture. That's totally fine. So whatever works, whatever happens is fine. I'm going to try to do it as proportional as possible and walk you through that. But don't be dissuaded if that doesn't happen. Again, when we start, we're going to kind of start like thinner and then we're going to build it outwards because it's easier than trying to fix a mistake if you go too big, right? So that's how we're going to try to approach it, and we're going to go from there. I wouldn't worry too much about where like she lands because we can make everything kind of work in relation to that. So if her feet end up being a little bit further down the path, it'd be fine. It would just be that she's the one who's closest to the viewer. So we want her to be big, and we want her to be in front and top of everything we just painted. So let's just keep that in mind, okay? So let me think. How do I want to start her off? So I do want her jacket to be red. I am fine with whatever color her leggings and her shoes are. I might keep it all black. I'm not sure yet. Or maybe I might keep it red and I'll just do a bit of a red kind of like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. Okay. I just talked through it and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to start her off in black, and then I'm going to add a little bit of red kind of to make it pop a little bit more. But I'm going to keep it black to start it off. Okay. So let's get our black paint. So I'm using my fine brush, my black paint, and we're going to have to position where she's going to be, okay? So we're going to draw a line, and that's going to be like the line down the middle of her body there. So we're going to say, okay, so where her like back is, her shoulders, kind of right here, and it comes down like that. That's how big she's going to be, how tall she's going to be, okay? Just to give you a guide of how it's going to be. All right, so according to where my horizon is, I'm going to say her waist is just slightly below the horizon. So there's her waist there, about. Okay. And I am going to put in her skirt part in right now. So let's just bring it out however you want to do it. So think about it as if you're like going to be coloring in like in a coloring book, and we're going to do the outline. So this is the outline of that coloring book, right? So how does that skirt, what does that shape look like? Okay, so mine's more of an A-line skirt. Hers look a little bit rounder, but we can always change it up if we want to. It's just to give an idea of where it is. Okay, and this is going to be her middle, like where her legs are, right? And we're going to come out. Let's just see this. Okay, so we're going to have her legs come out. They're a little thicker and they go down. Like that. And we're going to give the feeling of like a boot or a shoe of some sort, like that. And again, it's kind of like an impression vibe to it, so it doesn't have to look exactly like it. Okay. It's like a foot's in front of the other. That's why it's so like slender like that. Otherwise, that wouldn't really make sense. Okay. And then her body, right? So we have her body, yeah, her like chest, her back. Okay, so we're gonna have it. Painting's still wet. Watch if you put your hand on your painting when it's still wet. Okay, so her, so it kind of comes in like that. And then we're gonna have her shoulders and her arms come down. And again, like that. Okay, so I kind of decided where her like body is going to be essentially, and I put her shoulders in as well. Okay. Cool. Okay, so at this point, you can start just filling it all in black. If you want to stick with black, that could work. Like I said, I think I want to do a bit of a different color, so I don't know if I'm going to fill it in fully with black. not yet anyways. I am going to make it kind of like black with like some red accents, but I think I want it to be predominantly red. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. Now I want to position where I want her hair. I'm changing her hair to brown. I have very dark brown hair. So her head is going to lift. So let's kind of like place her actual head. So a circle for her head. And it might be smaller than what we want. That looks a little small. So let's make her head a little bigger. Her neck would be essentially like this. Her head's a little small still. All right. But you know what? We're going to have hair anyways, so I'm still going to draw. I have to still color in her outfit first before I get her hair and get all that going. Okay, well, that's essentially where her hair is going to be. It looks kind of funky right now, but we'll fix it up real good very soon. Okay. And then we have her umbrella. Okay, so we're just going to sketch in where we want it, and then we're going to fill it in. So we're doing as if we're doing like a coloring book, and this is the outline of the elements. Okay, so her umbrella is bigger actually. So she's bigger than the original image. I've made her a little bigger, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it. And her umbrella has to be wider than her skirt, because that would make more sense, right? And so it's going to kind of be like a half circle. So we're going to give her like a half circle here. We're going to paint right over what we painted before. Okay. And it's going to, I keep putting my hand on my wet paint. And then we're going to go and make little crevices of how this umbrella. That's a bit funky, but that's alright. So we're gonna go. Okay. So you get the idea of the umbrella. Cool. Maybe it should have been a slightly bit lower, but that's okay. It looks like it's kind of hanging. Okay, cool. A little bit to the side. That's fine. If I need to draw into that handle, I will. All right, cool. So now let's start to color in whatever you want in the black. So if we were, let's start with the umbrella. I'm just going to switch my brush to make it a little bit bigger. It's giving me more coverage as I go. So let's just put this in. There is her umbrella. Okay. Hope you guys are still following along. I haven't seen any messages for about 20 minutes, so I just want to make sure that if you guys have any questions, just let me know. If you're doing good, then do not worry. You don't need to. Just want to make sure in case you guys have sent me a message. Just want to make sure that you guys know that it's not popping up in case you do need me. I'm not sure, but okay. So there we go. Okay. So let's put in her outfit. So like I said, I want to go in, I want to do it like in red. So I'm going to color her in red, but then I might put in some black just to make it a little bit darker. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna go red, red, red. Okay, so you can still see my lines underneath it. That doesn't look very good, obviously. So I'm gonna just fix that up a little bit. I do want to make it a little bit of like a darker color. I do want to make it a little bit like a dark red. I do want to have it like that. Okay, so I'm just going to get a nice coating of whatever color you want it to be, the darker color. So whatever, if you want like a dark blue or a dark red or whatever color you want, or whatever color. So let's get the whole thing painted in that color. I'm kind of digging that nice burgundy kind of feel. I think I still want her legs to be black though. Black and black boots. That's what I think I want too. I don't know. Now I kind of want her umbrella to be the same color. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Nice. I think I kind of, oh, you can't even tell actually over there, but I just put the red-ish color on top, so it kind of has a slight red tinge to the black, which I'm digging. Thank you, Bonnie. Oh, awesome. Good. I'm glad you guys can still see everything, which is good. Okay, cool. Okay, coolios. She looks like she's balding. That's okay. We'll fix her up. Okay, so let's paint in her. She's wearing some black tights. And we're still going to put in some highlights and a belt and all of that, so that will make this look quite nice. I'm just going to fill in this part here, and then we'll use some white highlight just to emphasize where her legs are and where her shoes kind of are, the heels and whatnot. Okay. Just gonna fill in her hair a little bit. At least her, the hair on her head anyways. And then the one that goes on the jacket, I might wait a moment or two. I don't know. Should I do that right now? You know what? Yeah, I think I can. And again, you can give her any hairstyle you want. If you want it to be in braids, if you want it to be in a ponytail, that'd be tricky, but you could do that. You could do whatever hair you want. You want to give her some highlights, you want to make her hair green or purple or blue or whatever, and do it up. My girl's hair is going to be brown and there's going to be some darker black in it. Might be more black really with some brown highlights. I'm not sure yet. Cool hair. That's the fun part. That was always my favorite part when I had like Barbie coloring books as a kid. I was like coloring in the hair, and I'd always give it like different colors and different streaks and yeah. That's cool. I might put in a little bit of lighter just to make it pop a bit. Cool. I put in some white in my hair to give it a highlight, but also because I have a few little white strands happening, so she is me. All right, cool. I still want to make this a little darker because you can still see the black lines on there, so I'm just going to touch that up a little bit. Make it a little brighter. So I made it dark before, and I'm just putting brighter red on, and I think that kind of looks nice, and it makes it pop a little bit. So I'm almost like highlighting certain elements. Again, perhaps I should have done the hair at the end, but I couldn't help myself because hair is so much fun. Just add a little bit of highlight with the red first, and then I'm going to get white and then just make it pop a little bit more. Cool. Curious, what color outfit are you doing? Are you guys sticking with the black? Are you making it a different color? Are you putting a chicken in your picture? Like, what are you guys doing? All right. A few things with my umbrella. There's like a little thing that comes out of the umbrella like that, so I just need to put that in. Can't really notice it too much, but that's okay. Okay, so let me, while the jacket dries a bit, because I want to put more detail on it, I won't do that just yet. I'm going to put a little bit of detail on my umbrella. So as you see in the original image, there's like some like dots around the edge of it. There's also, so you can see where kind of each of the edges go. So let's put the lines in for that. Okay. I'm actually going to get my other brush, my thicker brush, my medium brush, I should say. And I'm just going to play with that a little bit. Well, that's not what I want it to do. It's too gray. I don't want it that gray. So I want it to have a bit of a line in it, but I don't want it to be like super bright. I don't like that. So I was playing with it and it's not working. So because it's not working, I am just going back over it in black to hide what I just did. And I'm going to go back afterwards and play with that afterwards because it's not working the way I want it to work. Okay, so we're just going to leave that. Let's just leave that. Okay, let's go down to the legs because the umbrella is not my friend right now. Okay, so I want to use a little bit of white to emphasize that there's a leg in front of another leg. So let's put the line here like that, and then the other one's here like that. So give a little bit of a highlight to that. And then this one's up, so I'm just going to put a bit of white here to show that there's a difference between the feet here. There's a little bit here too. Just like that. Just to give an idea of like that there's two legs and one's kind of in front of the other one. I'm not really going to do much more to that because I feel like if I do too much, it's not going to look great. Okay, so I'm going to add some, let's get white. Okay, let's add some accents to the coat or the dress or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so first off I want to put in a belt. Okay, there's a little belt there. And then let's put in a few little white lines like that just to kind of show the, there's some like folds in the dress, just give it a little bit of like movement. Just put a few little lines. Okay, I'm also going to use the white to emphasize where her back is, to where her waist comes out, like that. And the same on this side too, just on this side like that. Okay, I'm also going to do it on her shoulder, her arm a bit, and this side too. Just like a slight highlight, just a little bit, and it just really makes it pop. It looks really cool like that, right? Okay, there you go. I'm going to just highlight there a little bit more. You can see where it separate from the actual dress. Coolio. Actually, that didn't work out so bad, actually. So I'm happy about that. Okay. The original too, there's like little, like, they add like little dots around the bottom of her skirt and then also around the umbrella. So I'm gonna put that in too. So I'm gonna put like, no, like little dots. How cute. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna do the same thing around here. Little elements, really cute. Okay, let's put in some white lines up here too, just to show the curve of the umbrella. So put the lines in, but we don't have them like fully, I don't like full from the top to the bottom. It's just to give the impression that there's a bit of a bend in the material here. Okay, that looks good. A few more in. Okay. Alrighty. I think we're almost complete, guys. It's very exciting. Okay. Now, I also want to add a little bit of a shadow for her too, because we did create the shadows for the trees, and I think it kind of is weird if she does not have a shadow. So I'm just going to get some gray, and I'm just going to, oh yeah, a little darker than that. I'm just going to do that. So I feel like that makes sense. Oh, thanks so much, Jeanette and Nicole. Thank you. I like my spin. I like my brunette in a red dress with a black umbrella. But I'm like really touchy about like blonde being like the main character in a lot of things. Like Barbie was always blonde, and I was like, why? Why isn't she brunette? But clearly it's because I have issues. But that's okay. That's why most times when I draw a character and I do that, it tends to be a brunette. So for all the blondes out there, I'm sorry. You can still have your blonde hair and enjoy it. But yeah, mine will always be a brunette. On that note, let me just add a little bit more because I feel like it. Awesome. All right. Well, look at that. So we're actually at 7:43. Oh my goodness. It's actually before 2 hours. This is super exciting because that does not happen often on my paint parties. I'm usually over significantly on a 2 hour mark. So this is very exciting. So there we go. So I think I'm pretty good. The difference I would say is that like I didn't really emphasize the walkway so much. This is a very clear, it's a bit darker. So I think I kind of missed out on that a bit. Like that should have been a bit darker, but I'm pretty happy with it. I think this works out nicely. It doesn't really look, there's not really like a rain element happening in the foreground. So that could be something that if you wanted to add like any other, I don't know, if you wanted to add any more to it, I would probably say that. But maybe the umbrella is really there just to like so the leaves don't hit her. I don't know. It's like really windy or something. I'm not sure. But if you did, we could always add a little bit of like streaks or elements to like make it look like it's raining on top of that too. That would look kind of cool. So if that's something you want to do, go for it. You can decide how you want to approach that. But I think at this point I'm done. So I'm going to just sign it up. I'm going to use white, but white, you can't see my initials in white. That is crazy pants. So I'm going to do red. Because red, I'm all about the red. There we go. My initials are right there. Fantastico. All right, great. There we go. Tilt it a little bit so you can see my face. Maybe not from like a weird angle. There we go. All right. Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are having fun, Tara. I'm so happy. So Tara and I work together, and she was joining. She's away this week from work, so she said she'd join in, and I'm very happy that you guys are enjoying it today. So yeah, so there we go. So there is my version of this autumn stroll painting. Hope you guys enjoyed and had fun and made it your own. And again, if you want to add other elements, feel free. If you want to have her like walking a dog, if you have a pet dog and you want, or like a child, or I don't know, maybe not walking a child, but maybe don't put it on a leash or something. But anyways, you can add any other elements that you would so desire. Like you saw, like I changed a few things about it because I wanted to make it a bit more my own. So I encourage you guys to always do the same. Painting is really fun and easy, and you can paint anything you want. Just have fun with it. But yeah, I'd love to see your paintings, so please snap a picture of them when you're done and add them to the comments. I'll take a picture of this as well and put another post to show everyone our paint party for tonight. And please like and share and follow the page as well. We're fantastic. So thank you guys so much for having me in your homes tonight. That's really cool. And on Saturday we'll have 3 more options for you. And they're still staying with like a fall kind of theme going on. So next week we have 3 more for you. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy them, and I'll see you on Wednesday again. All right. Have a fantastic week, paint partiers. Take care. Bye.